Hey, welcome back, YouTubers, to part 13, is it? I think it's part 13 of the DVD collection overview, dumpster diving. And today we are going to conclude this series. This is going to be the last episode in this series. And today we're going to go over the remainder of the 88 Films DVDs. I have a little stack here of Intervision DVDs. I got my Shameless Entertainment DVD collection, and I have my Arrow Video DVD collection. So this is going to be a big shout out to my friends over the big water. All of my bell ends out there. Hope you guys are getting all kinds of fanny. So let's take a look. The ladies are here. Candles are lit. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre masks are all lined up in a row. They can't wait to see these DVDs, so let's check them out. Ah yes, part 13. What a great number to go out on. So the first one, actually these first four, is it four? Yeah, these first four are Ted V. Michaels movies. And the first one here is called Girl in Gold Boots. The majority of everything I'm showing today is from Europe. There's only one small stack here in the middle that's from the US. Everything else is from Germany and England. So we will call this the I joke. I have some really good buddies over in England, and we call each other bell end as kind of a breaking walls. It's fun. I get a kick out of that. So when I call those guys bell ends overseas, it means no disrespect. It's all in good humor, good fun. So if I'm going to get through all these movies, I got to stop talking trash and just keep my nose to the grind. But let's see. This movie's from 1968. It is anamorphic widescreen. 88 Films really does a great job with their releases, as does Arrow, of course. You guys know that. And Shameless Entertainment, still one of the tops in my eyes. I really like that company. I always will. The next one from the Ted V. Michaels collection is called Blood Orgy of the She-Devils. A terrifying screaming plunge to the depths of hell. This also does have a US release. I don't think it was Anchor Bay or Blue Underground. I think it was one of those early cult, what did they call those? I forget now. Anyway, this movie came out in 1972. This is Mara, Queen of the Black Witches, and her wolf pack of voluptuous virgins invade Satan's tortured realm of the unknown. For some reason, YouTube has been blocking my ads on most of the videos in this series, and I can't figure out why. And I appealed it. I appealed all of them, and then a couple days later, they come back and say, it's upheld, and they're not gonna. There's either limited or zero ads on these videos, and I can't really figure it out. There are certain words that you can't use, and I think I have been using some of those words. The R word, the four-word R, or four-letter R word is one. Some of the C word, not that C word, not the four-letter C word, but the, let's see. See if I can make it easy. Anyway, when I get to it, I'll point it out. But there are certain words, and it's pretty ridiculous. These are all movies that are, viewed by the public. I don't know why we can't talk about these on YouTube. This is the Corpse Grinders. The Corpse Grinders turn bones and flesh into screaming, savage blood death. This movie came out in 1971. So it looks like these ladies getting attacked by cats, because it looks like that lady's getting attacked by a black cat. And this one kind of looks like a Siamese cat, and I can't really tell. It says they went in people and came out hamburger. Experienced Maverick director Ted V. Michaels' independent terror classic that will give you chills you never knew you had in you. It does have audio commentary with Ted Michaels. And the last one for this little 4-pack of Ted V. Michaels collection movies. This is the Doll Squad. A diabolical maniac threatens mass destruction. An elite band of sexy assassins, our only hope. The movie came out in 1973. I can show this. She has little tassels on her tatas. She's very attractive. Pretty, pretty ladies. An elite team of beautiful special agents with a license to kill and kill again. A diabolical madman threatens the world with a deadly plague virus. This is also, this little pile here in this movie are part of the 88 films. This is the tail end of it. We went through some of them in part 12 at the end. This is the Spanish Chainsaw Massacre, an explosion of blood and gore. Comes with a pretty cool slipcover. And this is more modern, I think. 2014 this came out. So the language is Spanish, but you can watch it with English subtitles. They will eat your balls. Las Pollas del Metal, the Metal Dicks, a heavy metal band, are on tour to promote their first album. On the road to Galicia, their van suffers a flat tire and they have to stay overnight at the Gutierrez town, a small village located nowhere. Next day, the town is throwing a festival where the inhabitants celebrate the patron saint's day. The mayor invites the artists to join the celebration, and they accept, without knowing the brutal danger that awaits them. I still haven't watched this yet, and I should soon. The next one is part of the Grindhouse collection. Again, these are in the red cases. This is Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity. Some very lovely ladies in this one as well. Brinke Stevens, she's a familiar name. She was in a lot of these sexploitation movies, 80s and 90s. This movie came out in 1987. Running time, 71 minutes. What is the deadly secret locked behind the door of Zed's trophy room? Sherlock Holmes never wore outfits like the slave girls from Beyond Infinity. Special features, you get Ken Dixon bonus film called Famous TNA from 1982. I have that on VHS. It was put out by Full Moon here in the U.S. The next one's called The Day Time Ended, a mind-bending vortex of terror. Their lives became a living hell. Movie came out in 1979, full frame, 80 minutes running time. A futuristic solar home in the far desert was supposed to be their refuge from urban crime. Next one's called Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death, starring Shannon Tweed, right there in the middle. She's been married to Kiss's Gene Simmons since the 80s, I believe, long time. And the very lovely Adrienne Barbeau on the right. She was hooked up with John Carpenter for a long time. She's been in a few of his movies. Another good looker. She's still working today. I know she was in the Creepshow TV series that was on over the last couple of years. I think she was in an episode or two of that. And this movie came out in 1989. 85 minutes running time. This is a war between men and women. The next one is called Hideous, Deformed, Depraved, Deadly. I also have this on DVD from Full Moon US. I showed this one already in a previous video. Not this particular edition, but the US edition. This movie came out in 1997. And it's 80 minutes running time, and I can't show you the top photo, but I can show you these little screen grabs there in the middle. You can see that it's practical effects with little rubber monsters. It says Dr. Lorca, an eccentric collector of biological oddities, has just acquired his greatest specimen, a horrible mutant born of noxious waste. That's a Full Moon movie, all right. Next one's called The Creeps. Undersized, undead, and angry. This movie came out in 1997. 75 minutes running time. Full frame. It also comes with a bonus film called The Best of Sex and Violence. Dracula, Frankenstein, the werewolf, the mummy, these scary subjects of innumerable nightmares have been brought to life, but there was a problem in the process. Though imbued with the most of the expected attributes, the creature's creator made a little error in the equation. They're 3 feet tall and not happy at all. These mini monsters must now embark on a mission to complete their creation at any cost. And And the last one for the 88 films stuff is called Shadow Zone. The great James Hong is in here. I believe he's in his 90s now. I think he's still working too. In Alien, no one could hear you scream. In the Shadow Zone, that's all you can hear. On the dark side of dreams, a new terror takes shape. So this movie came out in 1990. 85 minutes running time, full frame. Another one I can't really show. I guess it's shadowed out. We're all adults here. Looks like it's pretty good practical special effects. On the dark side of dreams, a new terror takes shape. There's been a gruesome death at Project Shadow Zone, but that's just the beginning. A group of NASA hypersleep researchers are conducting tests in an abandoned underground facility in the Nevada desert. One subject has died during the test, and NASA has sent in Captain Hickok to investigate. What he finds is more horrific than the death itself. So I'm going to pause it here and put some of this stuff away, and we'll jump into the Intervision stuff. I don't think I'm going to be able to get all these done today. I'm going to try. So we're jumping into the Intervision pile, which is a smallish pile. This is Bruno Mattei's Zombies, the Beginning. When the dead first walked, they had no time for appetizers. 2007, 95 minutes. I'll go a little bit quicker. This is the C word I was talking about right there. They're pretty picky about that, and I've been saying it in just about every video. So, next one's called The Burning Moon. When the moon is full, the blood tide rises. The thing about these Intervision movies is they're pretty gory, as you can probably tell from the stills on the back. They're fun movies, though. They're a little bit over the top. Every other sicko horror movie is but glassy-eyed taxidermy above the mantle of the burning moon. So this movie came out in 1997. It's a German movie. Olaf Ittenbach. Right there, Olaf Ittenbach. I got these movies over a decade ago. I think these came out around 2010-ish. This one's called Psychomania. I believe this is a British movie. The grooviest zombie biker movie of them all. 1972. Unrated. Got a little panel there for special features. Back from the Dead and Loaded with all new bonus features. This is another one I still have yet to watch. I've never seen this before. It's the cult classic known as the greatest British zombie biker movie ever made. Returns with the ultimate full throttle restoration. Psychomania. Here we go. This is the C word. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't care. This is Mondo Cannibal. Gut-munching terror unleashed. I don't really do these videos for money. I mean, if I get a couple bucks per video, fine. That's okay. I'll take it. But I have a full-time job. So, a film by Vincent Dawn. Now, that was a pseudonym for Bruno Mattei. He sometimes went by the name Vincent Dawn. I don't know why. I know in the 70s and 80s, some of the European some of the Italian directors and actors thought that they would be a little more popular if they had Americanized names. So many of them changed their regular Italian name from like a Bruno Mattei to Vincent Dawn. And another example would be George Eastman, whose real name was Luigi Montefiore, and he went by George Eastman. This film's turned up to 11. Insanity really should be savored. See it. This is kind of a modern take on some of the 70s cannibal sleaze movies. This one came out in 2003. Bruno Mattei's Island of the Living Dead, where the hungry dead feast on the flesh of the damned. There's a cover for you. This movie came out in 2006. Definitely a throwback to the 70s. The next one is called In the Land of the Cannibals. Captured, tortured, eaten alive. Movie from 2003. Bruno Mattei again. So this time he was calling himself Martin Miller, even though it was Bruno Mattei. Some of these movies are pretty fun, but I think I've mentioned this several times now. I have to be in the mood to see that. I can't just pop those on and enjoy them. I have to be in a certain mood. The next one is called Hardware, and I do have this upgraded to Blu-ray. I think I got the Blu-ray first before I got the DVD, and I actually went backward because I'm a collector and I don't mind double, triple, quadruple dipping if I like the movie. This one came out in 1990. It's a Richard Stanley movie. He's great. I really enjoy Richard Stanley. These great movies. Post-apoc movie, Hardware. This one was a gift from a friend here on YouTube named Tanner. I haven't talked to Tanner in a long time. I'm not even sure if he still watches the videos, but he had sent me several gifts over the years, and this was one of them. This is called Hannah D. And there's my Hannah right there. The girl from Vondel Park. An extreme exploitation gem. Tons of nudity, graphic sex, and some of the sleaziest scenes in cinema history. The movie is from 1984, unrated. And we'll just show a couple of these stills and just move on. Fully restored from the original Vault Elements. And the last one for the Intervision stuff that was put out by Severin over a decade ago. This is called Crucible of Terror. A mind so evil it could lock its terrible secret inside a beautiful body. Movie from 1971. In the tradition of House of Wax, a chilling atmospheric thriller with a twist ending. Just the kind of movies I like. An oddly effective maverick entry in the annals of independent British fright flicks with sex, the supernatural, and the art of murder. So that is it for my little pile of Severin / Intervision DVDs. Going to put some stuff away, and I guess we'll get into the Arrow Video stuff. Okay, so we're going to get into the Arrow Video DVDs now. And there's a little stack here. The girls are outside. And I just took some of the blankets off my bed. washing them. I think I may end the video after this stack, and then maybe I will come back for a part 14. We'll see how this goes. The first one here is called Baise-Moi. I think this is a French movie. The only reason I got this movie is because it was part of this Arrow Video DVD line, and I was crazy about this company when they were releasing DVDs. The movie itself came out in 2000, and Arrow released this DVD in 2013. It says sexual violence, real sex, and very strong language. Maybe I better pop this in, hey? Warning. This film contains prolonged sex scenes of an extremely explicit nature and scenes of graphic violence, which some viewers may find shocking and disturbing. And then I wonder why YouTube is not monetizing my videos. So, Baise-Moi, apparently, if you guys can read this, because I'm not going to say this, Baise-Moi literally means, right there. Real nice, hey? A bloody buddy movie that's like Thelma and Louise on acid, banned on release in France. The film has provoked as much horror as it has debate. And we're just gonna keep moving along here. So these are in no order. I'm just pulling, or maybe they are. Maybe these are alphabetized. This one's called Bear Behind Bars. Passions boil behind cold steel bars. I'm going to kind of go quicker through these. So this one came out in 2011. Does that sound right? I think it's earlier than that, though. I think it was released by Arrow Video in 2011, but I don't know when the movie itself came out. Looking at these screen grabs up here, it looks like it might have been something from the 80s. How long can the caged women of this hellhole endure such cruel and unusual punishment before they cut loose and stage a daring escape attempt? In a South American prison, life is cheap, but sex is cheaper. Bear Behind Bars. Next one is called Blood Feast 2, The Godfather of Gore, Herschel Gordon Lewis. Looks like the movie came out in 2001. And Arrow released it in 2009. Looks like her eyes are pulled out, or poked out. Well, that's what you get from a Herschel Gordon Lewis movie. The next one is Super Bitch, also goes by the name Blue Movie Blackmail. And then I guess that would be the Italian title. Directed by Massimo Dallamano. He was a genre actor. Spaghetti westerns and the like. Some horror movies, sexploitation movies. Next one is Christmas Evil. I have this on Blu-ray as well. This will be one that I will talk about in December. Also known as You Better Watch Out. I don't remember it as that title. I do remember seeing this on the VHS shelves back in the day as Christmas Evil. I don't remember it ever being You Better Watch Out. Maybe that was a European thing, I'm not sure. But here it was always Christmas Evil. So this movie came out in 1980 and Arrow released it in 2012. Bunch of bonus features. Artwork by Graham Humphreys. Good little Christmas slasher movie. Next one's called Combat Shock. Agent Orange and the Torture Cages were the easy part. It's another insane cover. This is a pretty crazy movie. Buddy Giovinazzo and Jorg Buttgereit. There's a commentary from both of those guys. Buddy Giovinazzo was the director. I believe Jorg was the producer, but it doesn't say here on the back. This is in 4:3 full frame. There's two different cuts of the movie, a 92-minute and a 97-minute. It says, you've witnessed the surf Nazis on the rampage. You've laughed at the kids of the class of Nukem High. Now take a trip into Troma's dark heart in Combat Shock. So a few years ago now, Severin released a really nice, I think it was Severin, a Blu-ray and a book that were signed by the director, and I was lucky enough to order one, and I got that. It's about a veteran that comes back from war and he's all messed up. The next one's called Deadly Blessing. This is a Wes Craven movie, another beautiful cover. It's a good movie too. I enjoyed this. It's an early Wes Craven, early 81, I think. Let's see. Oh, it doesn't say when it was released, unless I'm just missing it. But Arrow released this in 2011. I want to say this was like 81 or 82 this came out. So this one has a very young Sharon Stone. This was one of her first roles, if not her very first role. And then it also had the veteran Ernest Borgnine and Michael Berryman. There's Ernest right there. And then Michael Berryman was also in here as part of like a crazy cult type family. I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was good. Next one's called Deadly Outlaw Rekka. Takashi Miike movie. Some good Japanese cinema here. Arrow released it in 2010, but it doesn't say what year Miike made the movie. And Sonny Chiba is in this movie. He's always good. It says it was written by genuine criminals from the Japanese underground and directed by one of the masters of extreme Eastern cinema, Takashi Miike, who did Audition and Ichi the Killer. Deadly Outlaw Rekka is uncompromising Yakuza, that's the Japanese mafia, cinema at its best, featuring a standout performance from low-budget Japanese video star Riki Takeuchi, Big Man Japan, and Battle Royale 11. Why was I having such a hard time saying that? It's not that hard, man. All right, the next one here is called The Deadly Spawn. I thought this was a pretty good little creature feature too. They came to Earth to feed on human flesh. .43 full frame. Look at some of these special effects. Really well done. Something awful is coming, hurtling through the void in a meteor that's on a collision course with Earth. What terrifying entry in the annals of horror will be unleashed when the sinister intergalactic payload smashes into our planet? Answer: The Deadly Spawn. This has a Blu-ray release, which I own as well. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to. I think once we're done with this pile, I might have to call it. I'll see where we're at. I try to keep it between like 50 and 55 minutes. This one's called Jaguar Lives. Now is the time for a Jaguar. See, the thing is, I don't want to go too fast through these because I want to give them their due. I want you guys to enjoy what you're watching. And pretty much the whole purpose of this series of videos is to give you guys ideas of things you can add to your collection. So if I go too fast, you may not even see anything that you like because you don't know much about it, I guess. Christopher Lee and Donald Pleasence together in this one. Now is the time for Jaguar. Some people pronounce it Jaguar. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just a matter of preference, I guess. I prefer to say Jaguar. Some people say Jaguar. Some people say Jaguar. You do your thing, man. You do you. King of Karate, Joe Louis is dynamite, fighting off 007 villains and saving the world in this non-stop martial arts action classic. See, this is something I would have loved when I was a kid. This is the kind of stuff I was jamming with when I was little. I loved these, I loved all the Chuck Norris stuff, the Bruce Lee stuff. Even before I got into horror movies, really, I was watching a lot of Rambo type movies, Chuck Norris, Missing in Action, and some of the karate stuff that he was doing. American Ninja. The World is Safe Because Jaguar Lives. Featuring Christopher Lee, Lord of the Rings, and scenery-chewing masterclass in-screen villainry from Donald Pleasence. James Bond riffing action classic from the Halcyon days. Halcyon days? I don't know. Of the Backstreet Video Shop. Probably butchered that, I don't even know. Anyway, moving on. The next one's called The Kentucky Fried Movie. It's a John Landis comedy. I remember watching this one as a kid. This one came out either in the late 70s or very early 80s. I do remember that. It had to be 83 or earlier than that. Welcome to the Kentucky Fried Movie, the Citizen Kane of bad taste, gross-out screwball movies. This is the film that birthed the 1,000 low-rent comedies, a million playground quotes, and brought the ancient mysteries of Kung Fu to the West in the awe-inspiring mini-movie, A Fistful of Yen. This is a really nice edition. It's a 2-disc set, and this was one of the early window boxes that they became famous for when they were releasing their Blu-rays, but actually they started on DVDs. I only have a couple of the window boxes for the DVDs. This one's called Macabre, or Macabre, however you choose to pronounce it. Again, you're not wrong. It's a really good cover. It's a Lamberto Bava movie, son of Mario Bava, Masters of Giallo. Arrow released this in 2009 already. This is fully uncut. For God's sake, don't raid the fridge. It's a bloodbath, this movie. Lamberto Bava, the son of Mario, made his stunning debut as a director in his own right with a film that is still ranked by many as his best and closest in style to his late father's. What does that say? Includes exclusive booklet in Q&A with Lamberto Bava. Next one is a not really talked about George A. Romero movie. Some people talk about it, but not very many. This is Martin. This is a vampire movie. A contemporary vampire for the modern age. DVD set includes, available in full frame and widescreen, Italian version with the Goblin score, exclusive booklet, world exclusive poster, and world exclusive postcards. So this is when Arrow started to kind of make themselves known in the world of physical media. They were putting box sets out with reversible covers, and they were giving you extras such as bonus features and booklets and posters and postcards, and they were really stepping it up. And this was the year 2010. Double-sided poster, 2 discs. I mean, they were starting to really give their movie fans something to really be proud of. That is Martin. Next one. John Russo's Midnight. John Russo, who was part of the original Night of the Living Dead with George A. Romero. This is his movie. Looks like this is another late 70s, early 80s. So it says, from John A. Russo, author of Return of the Living Dead, comes Midnight, a sordid tale of young runaways, lecherous stepfathers, and inbred Satanists. So you get some good bonus features here. It's uncut for the first time in the UK, presented in full frame. Introduction by star John Amplas. Vampires, Rednecks, and Zombies, The Fear Career. The next one here is called The Night Child. I think this also had a... Okay, it does have another title right there called The Cursed Medallion. These covers are really good. Massimo Dallamano again. That little girl is creepy. You'll need more than an exorcist to save the Night Child. Obviously, this is a kind of a Exorcist ripoff. And they're not even trying to hide it here, because in these special features it says, Exorcism Italian style. Author and critic Paolo Zalotti, filmmaker Luigi Cozzi, and screenwriter Antonio Tintori reflect on the brief boom in pasta possession movies, which rushed out of Rome in the wake of William Friedkin's classic The Exorcist. So they weren't even trying to hide it. They were blatantly trying to cash in and copy the success of The Exorcist. Next one is called Pervert. I think this was the last DVD that I bought before I started getting Blu-rays. This stars Mary Carey busting out in Pervert. And you can see what kind of movie this is. Includes extended lesbian scenes, sex, death, freedom. Smells like Russ Meyer. Let me be very careful here what I show you guys, because there's some pretty naughty images. I know you guys can handle it. I just don't think YouTube can handle it. So I'm going to keep moving. This is a great one. This is one of my all-time favorites. It's a Spanish slasher film called Pieces. Look at that cover, man. That is carnage at its best. You don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre. And the other tagline I remember was, Pieces, it's exactly what you think it is. Let's see if it says that on the back. Juan Piquer Simone, starring Christopher George and Linda Day, his wife, Linda Day George. Fully uncut. This is a good one. I really enjoy this one. If you haven't watched this, I'm sure many of you, probably most of you who are watching this, have already seen Pieces. But for some small chance, if you haven't, go check it out. There's a little booklet, a poster, and a chapter stop, and a catalog of some of their previous releases, and a reversible cover. The next one here is called Savage Streets, starring the voluptuous Linda Blair. This is a rape revenge. Don't mess with my sister. I think Linda Blair's okay. I never fell for her as a... She's not really a sex icon to me. I mean, if you believe that there, I mean, that's artwork. That's not really a photo of her. This looks more like her on the back. I mean, she's cute. She's okay, but I never really thought of her as a sex symbol, to me anyway. This is uncut. Kind of movie that you need to take a shower when you're done watching it. Next one here is Silent Night, Deadly Night. He knows when you've been naughty. This is one sleigh ride you won't forget. Everybody has seen these. There's like 4 or 5 of these in the franchise now. I still watch this one every winter. I don't watch them all every winter, but I always manage to pop this one in. It's fully uncut. You've made it through Halloween. Now try and survive Christmas. I like that title. And that's a great cover too. Couple more here, looks like 5 more. Street Trash. This is a splatter film. Gross, gory. Prepare for a molten hobo holocaust. They drink the Viper. What's it called again? I forget. Viper something. Let's see if it says on the back. So they drink this liquid. It's supposed to be like a liquor, and it turns them into these, I don't know, like leaky, gross, exploding zombies. It says, it's not hearts that melt when New York's tramps fall in love with a beverage called Viper. I think it was called Tenafly Viper, something like that. Tenafly. I'm going to have to pause it and check. It's going to bother me. But they're just calling it Viper here. I think it was something more than that, though. Its whole body's in this gore-drenched shocker that does for alcohol what the driller killer did for power tools. An unscrupulous liquor store owner steadily wipes out his city's homeless with lethal booze that melts anyone who consumes it into oblivion. Can a dedicated cop uncover the truth before a seemingly unavoidable hobo holocaust? Street Trash has endured decades of repression at the hands of scissor-happy censors, but its gung-ho, melt-tastic outlandishness has afforded it a steady cult following since its release, and is presented here, restored and uncut. I'm going to pause it really quick to get you guys the right information. Maybe it says here on the front. It just says Viper. Okay, so I was right. It was called Tenafly. Tenafly. Tenafly Viper was the name of the liquor for that one. The next one's called Surf Nazis Must Die. The beaches have become a battlefield. The waves are a war zone. I'm going to have to go let my dogs in. I hear them out there barking. Hang 10 to Hell. This is a trauma movie. When the California coast is ravaged by a massive earthquake, the beaches are left in a state of anarchy. In this lawless void, a new power is rising. Adolf and his evil gang of fascist water rats are coming. They are the surf Nazis, and they must die. Blood, guts, gore, nudity, and murder come thick and fast in this gnarly beach bum holocaust extravaganza from Troma, the sick, twisted schlock house that brought you Combat Shock and Class of Nukem High. Yeah, it looks like I'll end it after these last 3, and then I guess we'll have enough left over for part 14. I don't know if it'll be a full 1 hour of part 14, because tomorrow's Friday. As I'm recording right now, it's Thursday. I'm thinking about doing an update video tomorrow, so I may just cut a short DVD, kind of a finale, and then go into my update video. This is called The Jolly Killer, also known as Slaughter High, which is a British slasher film, and I enjoy this one. Slaughter High, for Marty, school days were the worst days of his life. Another kind of a bully revenge type movie. When the alumni of an all-American high school, I thought this was British, maybe it's not. Okay, when the alumni of an all-American high school make a trip to attend a class reunion, they reconnect with their pasts in ways more bloody and fatal than they could possibly imagine in this 80s slasher classic, Slaughter High. I'm going to double check that just to make sure. Okay, so I wasn't completely wrong, but I wasn't completely right either. This is a joint production from the United States and the United Kingdom. They worked on this together, and it stars our girl Caroline Munro, who I think is absolutely gorgeous. She's in here. This movie came out in 1986 too, by the way. Has an art card for The Beyond, and it has a booklet on the inside. There's Caroline right there. Wow. There's also a reversible cover, and I'm not going to pull it out, but it's this image here, Slaughter High. So we got 2 more to go, and it's called Two Evil Eyes. This is a collab between George A. Romero and Dario Argento. There's kind of 2 mini movies in one movie. They each of these directors had like one 1-hour segment to make up the movie, and this is very enjoyable too. George A. Romero, Dario Argento, 2 of the world's greatest fear makers, unite one time only for this deliciously twisted double bill of terror based on the classic tales of Edgar Allan Poe. Romero directs The Facts in the Case of Mr. Valdemar, where a greedy wife, played by Adrienne Barbeau, and her calculating lover conspire to rob her dying husband, but not all goes according to plan. And The Black Cat is Argento's typically vicious take on the tale of a cold-hearted photographer, played by Harvey Keitel, who enters a battle of wits with a seemingly immortal feline foe with barbaric consequences. Two Evil Eyes is a chilling and thrilling journey into the darkness of the human soul and the dire repercussions that await those who try to take advantage of the seemingly helpless. Be warned. And this is a fun movie. I'm sure most of you have seen this before. You can watch it in English language or Italian. It has English subtitles. There's Harvey Keitel. And the last one, I'll see where I'm at. If I'm near the 50-minute mark, this will be the last one. Otherwise, I'll try to pop a few more in just to get it to that time. Island of Death, possibly the world's worst holiday destination. Not a very good movie. So let's see here. A journey into the worst excesses of depravity. Greece is transformed into a bloodbath of sex, death, and sadism when an English couple arrive for a perverse rampage of lust and murder through the sleepy streets of a quiet island. No taboo is left unbroken as the feral pair screw and slice through the local population and their livestock, driven by a combination libido and twisted morality to slay those as they see as unfit to exist. This is a Nico Mastorakis movie. This was one of his first ever. I really like Nico Mastorakis a lot, but I think this may be, to me, in my own opinion, one of, or maybe his worst movie. I've seen it a couple times, though. It's just not real good. He has a lot of way better movies. He got way better. He's still with us, I believe. So there are the special features. So let me pause it here. Really quick, there's a booklet. Oh, I think there's nudity. I better be careful. Let's see what this is the cover you guys will remember from the VHS days. You see that guy in the front. Really bizarre cover. This one's kind of weird too. But I'll take a look and see if we're around the 50-minute mark. I'm going to say goodbye here. Thanks for watching. If not, I'll be back with a couple more to show.